This is your man who did it this time, coming at you with another episode, another installment to the classic series, sadly, of Debunking the Bron. Excuse me. And on this segment, or excuse me, on this specific episode, we are going to concentrate on how this man is a man with no country, and at this point, he is a terrible, terrible father figure, older brother, family man, businessman. So we'll keep this more straight to the point. Normally I like to use metaphors, and I guess I'll still be using one, but this is more of an example. So, first and foremost, obviously, all praises to the Most High. Y'all know how this script, or y'all know how my takes go. I gotta give all praises to him and shout outs to some of you other YouTube content creators before I forget. Tribe of Judah Lion, Lobo TV, Seahawks, Jose Rodriguez, Too Raw for TV, and how can I forget the man who actually gave me a little bit of a spark besides Chronicles of Judah 144, which was Welcome to HD TV. There's many more, but those guys were the top of my head. I'm constantly praying for you guys to keep it going. I see y'all pages growing, and no shade or no envy here. I think that God has something in store for you all. I'm not necessarily pushing or promoting your channel like a hype man. It's more of we can all eat at the table. And speaking of eating, we coming at the NBA's cash cow or golden calf. These people worship this man. So since he's a calf, I want the beef, and it's time to hack. You know what I mean? Straight up, we carving. And I always say it's not necessarily the man himself. It's the puppet master who's controlling the puppet. It's the monster behind the media. It's the people behind LeBron James. But he's the face, so it's time to sock him right in it. Shall we? Let's go. So, the first take is where I came at him stating that he's a man with no country. Now, we have to give him some credit from the very beginning when he showed that he thinks like a businessman and he thinks more like a person who is trying to empower his family, his literally his personal family, and he's looking for generational wealth. And we understood his move to Miami, despite a lot of people's other personal views on it. A lot of us understood why he went to Miami. It was just the parade that came with it. And eventually he did not come through. That team was unsuccessful, and they did underachieve. Whether you like it or not, going 50%, going 500 is an underachievement when you're playing with other Hall of Famers. Not just Dwayne Wade and Chris Bosh. Ray Allen now, and Eric Spoelstra will be probably a Hall of Fame coach, as well as the business person who overseen that team, Pat Riley. But nevertheless, they underachieved. Okay? But that was his first move. Then he came back to Cleveland when he had his eye on the young talent Kyrie Irving, and he was able to bring Kevin Love, who at that time was a superstar talent at least. I don't necessarily know about his production and how he was a winning style forward, but he got that team together, right? And he caused Kyrie to change his style of play, whether you like it or not. He took the ball out of his hand in a lot of ways. I know people will say if you look at the, what is the word I'm looking for? If you look at the usage rate, it was pretty much equal. But in the end, Kyrie Irving had aspirations at that time not to be a weapon, but to be a franchise player. Whether we like him or not, whether we agree that his style is winning style, because there are people that question Kyrie's leadership, and I'm also being more fair when it comes to my take, because if you look at his track record, Boston, now Brooklyn, and other teams, he may not be qualified to be a leader either. And it's not because of his size. We've seen other men who were more fortunate and successful when it comes to leading their franchises and being under 6'3". But we ain't here to talk about him. We talking about that cash cow, that golden calf they worshiping. Okay? So then he goes to Cleveland. They pretty much cry their way to get Draymond Green suspended. Y'all already know the timeline. But the point is, he got his way. He showed that once again he wanted to come back to Cleveland, and his whole plan was to make sure that the Midwestern market forgave him, specifically people in the Akron, Youngstown, Cleveland area, and all of them Midwest people, right? So then that doesn't go so well, and we hear that he has his eyes set on, pardon me, the LA market. This is a way for him to pass Kobe and in a way, and Kareem and Magic. I think all of that was on the table, and to make sure that he fattens his pockets and enhances his catalog more with some of his so-called acting and movie ideas, such as Space Jam and soon to be House Party, which will also be a flop. I'm not really sure why he has his goals set on hijacking such powerful movies. Dude, you're not it. And he's the same age as me. I mean, I get it, man. Those were movies that, we'll always forget, we'll never forget, we'll always be appreciative of. But you're not that guy to change that. I don't care how much time you read The Godfather. Please don't touch it. Don't put a spin on it. Some things are meant to be left alone. He's like a spoiled child who can't help himself. You understand? There it comes again. Never really having parents. Some things are meant to be left alone, and it's up to you to create your own. You don't have to hijack. You don't have to team up. Be a man, man. Start your own. Now, we're hearing rumblings that he's going back to Cleveland, possibly OKC, waiting for Bron. All this stuff, and I blame the media for some of the content creators to target in on LeBron, because once again, it's really not him. But since he wears the mask and he is the face, let's punch him in it. You dig? Okay, so you want to go back to Cleveland, and then what? You'll be 38 at that time. Your catalog will be more enhanced. Your career numbers will be through the roof. What do you want to go back to Cleveland for? You make everyone better. What is the situation? What, you want to bring back the Ohio Midwest market? What is this? That school that's really a public school that we really only hear about when ESPN finds a story that they can make sure that they put away another story, like it's convenient for them to talk a little bit about the so-called school when everyone's trying to get more clarification on the book that will be coming out that exposes his fake relationship with Kobe Bryant. Oh, we ain't forgot, homie. Not that we need to hear gossip. We just want you to be more of a man and say, look, man, we didn't have the best relationship. That's why he and Mike is such a big, big story, because they know that secretly that LA market, whenever the NBA season resumes, they have some questions for this guy, man. They have some serious questions. And, his team and he better be very mindful, because this isn't Ohio. These people worship Kobe as well. I do not worship any man, and I'm not a fan of any man. But we just calling it a spade, man. Kobe got damn near an army. These people worship and love that man. So no matter how much he hugs Mike and squeezes his hand and talks about Bronny, which, again, the whole NBA thing is very, very strange to me, how they just know he's going to the NBA. He is not that glaring for me. Very good high school player. Very good. But he's not great, and he is not box office. But we ain't here to talk about no kids, man. We talking about that cash cow. I want the beef. You want it with Kobe, and now it's out there. You're a man with no country, bro. Not saying that he needs to be this NBA patriotic nigga out here sitting here caping for every team he's on, like some football head, like a what do you call those guys? A meathead. Which I played football. I understand that metaphor, and I understand why people get called that. These dudes make football their religion, or like Kevin Garnett was, almost borderline petty with the crap, man. I'm not saying LeBron got to do that, but we are saying that you're always eyeing up another man's franchise. That's why owners in the Milwaukee area and New Orleans, they don't like that guy, man. I don't care what y'all say. He is dipping into pockets of other franchises, and more importantly, he's not that cool of a person that we believe that is genuine. It's false humility. If you can't see that by now in year 19, then you are a fan. He has jarred at your emotional well-being, man. And you might not have the personal intelligence to understand that your feelings are not supposed to be aligned with a man that you don't even know. This is why it's not necessarily about him. We're going to keep making that abundantly clear. Never had a problem with a man making money, using the gifts that the Most High has given him. And he has an abundance. Fast, strong, good twitch. Yes, I believe there is some enhancements, but before the steroids ever touched this man's body, you cannot deny that he was born to do something in the athletic field, and he would have been pretty good at it. But now we talking about his leadership skills and qualities, or lack thereof. His lack of fatherhood, in a way, his lack of partnership, his lack of leadership, as I just mentioned. Any man that's constantly talking about other franchises and sucking off other players, because he's been doing this for a long time. Don't make it like it's just now because his skills are starting to diminish on the court, regardless of the points per game crap. It's sickening, man. You sitting here talking about other franchises, but it's really not a smack at the Lakers, y'all. No. It's not a smack even at Rob Pelinka. This is a spoiled brat who's coming at the NBA greats. I will not call them gods, but other people do. This is a spit and smack at Jerry West, Elgin, James Worthy, even Byron Scott to a lower degree, Kobe, Shaq, I may have said Magic, Kareem, Wilt, Jamal Wilkes at this point, even some of the cats that they didn't pan out, Andrew Bynum and Pau Gasol, whether you all agree or not. Yo, when you a Laker, it's not about being in a gang or once again being some meathead, bringing that crazy locker room mentality. But there is a respect now. There is a respect. It's the same way Boston feels at one time the Dallas Cowboys, now the Pittsburgh Steelers. At one time the New England Patriots. I won't say the Yankees have ever been that buttoned up, but there are other franchises where we don't talk like that here, man. You come here to win championships and you come here to fill up them seats. And has he done that? That is debatable. There are a lot of nauseating people right now that's on the West Coast that want him gone. And he knows that. From the Blaze Pizza stand up, and I don't mean stand up like in a comedian way of looking at things, a comedic. This is more like him standing up the people from Blaze Pizza. We ain't forgot. To his constantly jarring at the emotions of people loving Nipsey Hussle now. Nigga, please. Come on, man. It's cornball. Once you're corny, can you uncorn? That is my man says that from the crib. Can you ever uncorn, bro? Can you? I mean, he's Varnell Hill on Martin, man. At the end of the day, that's how we look at that dude. This is all about fattening your pockets, but your leadership qualities at this point are very, very sickening. And it does come back to how he was taught to be a father. It's also taught probably how he's taught to worship himself in that mirror. He doesn't abide by a real father, man. And y'all know what I mean by abide by. I'm not talking about the flesh now. This man is godless. I don't give a crap what y'all think. Now, will I be judged on that one day? For me putting it out there? Yeah, I probably will. But I'm a man with flesh too, and I can't take it no more. I'm not here crying, as you can hear it in my voice, but it's time to reveal. We're in a revealing stage. We are in a revealing era. LeBron James is a narcissistic, as I've said before, I will never call him a outright Satanist. But if you don't think he's a Luciferian left-wing liar to the masses, then you're sadly mistaken. And it all comes back to the way he was raised. His gifts has turned him into godless. You feel me? And it can happen to anybody. You get that money. He is a teen star, and he's masked his dysfunction very well. But it's a revealing process. We patiently wait to eat on this golden calf. Not that I eat beef anyway, by the way. You know what I mean? Like every now and then I get a taste for it, but that just ain't my drift. Especially not one that's been poisoned and fattened up the way he has. He's got to go, man. He's ruined a lot of people's sights on watching this spring's NBA. It will be a lot better if he just goes and leaves. And as far as his son goes, he has about another year till he will be the new calf, the golden calf that's constantly being talked about. But y'all know on the flip side, they coming for him, especially if he's a degenerate in any way and isn't able to mask it with his athleticism. They show no mercy, bro. Cobra Kai. No mercy, Johnny Lawrence. This is your man Who Did It. Who did it this time, man? Coming at y'all with another episode of Debunking The Bron. And on this, we highlighted a man with no country and a person who is a terrible leader. And in a lot of ways, I'm afraid he's probably a terrible father. He's shown nothing. He's made no one better except for himself. I'm out.